Hello and welcome to my review of the JVC GY HM170 professional 4K camcorder. I purchased this recently from Pro AV as they had it at a fantastic price, and if you look at their website you will see it is an absolute bargain. And I was looking for a really cost-effective 4K camcorder that has the professional XLR inputs on it, which is this one does. In fact, initially JVC sold this camcorder without the actual handle, and it was actually more expensive from what it is now. They're now providing it with the XLR handle, but you can use it just as a well, almost like consumer style type camcorder. When I took it out of the box though, I was sort of surprised at its construction. I had read reviews and seen reviews on the internet saying that its construction is plasticky. Well, if you buy one, don't be put off by that, because it is. JVC have obviously kept costs down by using a grade of plastic that just doesn't look right, and it kind of doesn't feel right either. But once you've got the hang of it and once you've got used to feeling it, it's okay, it's absolutely fine. But I mean, for example, you have to be really careful with this monitor, because that feels just like it wants to break off. It's as I say, not the best of constructions. I'll go through a few of its features that I really like and a few that I completely don't like. Let's get some of the bad points out of the way first. Let's get one out of the way first, the lens cap. Oh dear, oh dear. This is the most crazy design, because you can't, I think other reviewers have said the same thing, you can't grip it. When you do grip it, it just wants to, it's just, yeah, it wants to bring out your hand, and when you try and clip it back on, there isn't a proper you don't know when it's on, you know. That's a really bad, oops, yeah, as you see, it's not good. That's a really bad design. I don't like that one little bit. That's one of its very worst points. The other one that is a wee bit dumb, I think, see how easy that is to put the handle on. And that is great, isn't it? You know, terrific design, no cables to connect the audio to the camcorder. It's all done via very electronic pins underneath here. And there you have a really, really compact 4K camcorder. But the other design that I really think is dumb as well, when you put the microphone on, which is fine, microphone clips on into there, doesn't come with a microphone, by the way. That's one that I've had for a while. That's my little Sony one. I do use it with my Rode mic, but it gets in the way of the lens when you're on wide angle, so I tend not to use that. But the accessory screw is so close to this locking nut for the microphone, you can't get, certain things you can't get on, like my monitor won't fit on at all. I have to get an adapter to push it higher than that. My radio mic doesn't fit on it properly either. So there are a few things that I think are a little bit dumb. It is actually a great camcorder. I mean, the results are outstanding. I was so impressed, and I was so surprised. So surprised because of the sheer price of this camcorder. It shoots in 4K, HD and all the flavours you would imagine, but in 4K it shoots at 150 megabits a second onto SD card. That is a really high bit rate. And in HD you can set it to 422 as opposed to recording 420, and in 422 I think it's, I can't remember now, I think it's 50 megabits or maybe up to 200 megabits a second. You'd have to check it, but it is absolutely superb. I use it in 4K all the time, and I'm absolutely delighted with the results. You'll see here how good the results are. It records onto standard, I don't know if you can see that, it records onto standard SD cards for HD, but you would need to use class 10 SDXC cards, UH3s, if you want to record 4K. And there's two slots, so you can work those two cards how you wish. So you can do a backup, so it record the same scene on both cards, or you can do relay, so it records on one, and then automatically, once that's full, automatically goes straight on to the second card. So if you're doing a long event, you're not going to run out of card, or you shouldn't run out of card if you're using like 128 gig cards. The monitor isn't the best of monitors, but again, it's made to a price point. It does the job, it gets the job done. And I've had no real problems with it. I tend to use autofocus a great deal, and it works beautiful. Face detection, everything. You just get really nice, sharp results. So I've not had a problem with the focusing on it. For manual focusing is great. You've got all these buttons here that you can preset to your own liking. So they're assignable. Most of these buttons are completely assignable to what functions you would like. So you've got all the usual things such as zebra, focus peaking, focus extender, so it zooms in to the focus point. Loads of other different functions you can set it to. Manual focus, autofocus, etc, etc. So it's got all the pro features, and that's what I love about it. At a price point that it's at is phenomenal. And as an example, I'm filming this on my Sony AX33, which I love to bits. I mean, it's a great little camcorder, particularly the Steadicam. But I've had to buy an XLR handle, or not handle actually, an XLR adapter to fit on it, so I can use my XLR mics and what have you, and use manual audio so much better. But that's over £1,000. You know, you get the two together, you're looking at about £1,100. That's actually more expensive. That setup is more expensive than this, and this is a lot easier to use. And I find the results are better, I think, but they're certainly on a par. The results on this are outstanding, as I said earlier. One lovely feature that I do like is the white balancing. On a lot of these compact camcorders, setting your white balance is a right pain in the arse, because you don't have proper white balance settings. All you do on this one, set it to A or B, so you can preset two different values. So you can have one for outdoors and then one indoors. So if you're running around at a location, you don't need to keep white balancing, you just flick the switch. But so you set it to A or B, and you literally point it at something white and hit that button, boom, and then the white balance is set. Now, could that be any simpler than that? I really can't see how it could be any simpler than that. And it's a nice, big, easy to find button, where pros are used to finding the white balance button, just there, boom. And the other thing is, it's got the two rings. It's got your big focus ring, really nice rubberized grip. It is really, really good. And this ring, which can be assigned to either focus or to iris or zoom. I've set mine to iris. I'm from the old school, and I do like to have my iris around the lens. I just use the handle zoom, or this if I need to zoom in, and I don't generally do any zooming while I'm filming, so I just use this to frame the shot, and there you go. It's got a little dial here that you can set to iris. I've got that set to exposure compensation. Well, I call it exposure compensation. So you can leave it in auto, but have a camera automatically overexpose it if you're shooting into light, or underexpose it, whatever you may need to do. Gain control is on it. Auto iris, manual iris. What else have we got? Image stabilization switch, optical image stabilization, which I find works really well. It's not as good as the Sony, but it does work really well. We've got AE level shutter speed control, which I don't use. I leave it set at 1/50th. Obviously, you've got your two XLR inputs on the handle, that is, two XLR inputs here for channel 1 and channel 2 with the controls on this side. Lovely controls. It's a little bit fiddly actually, but I guess that's not a bad thing. It stops you from knocking them. And then you've got various other ports on the camera, HDMI port to feed like an Atomos recorder, or a monitor. I use it to feed my 7-inch aperture monitor. And on the back you've got your headphone jack, microphone input, a LANC control. They've called it remote, which is fine. I've actually bought a LANC controller and it's superb. Yeah, works a treat. No problem with that at all. Well happy with that. DC input. Another thing what I really like, I say there's far more positive things about this camera than negative things. Let me tell you that, you know. But another thing I like is the way the battery goes in. It seemed odd at first. I thought, what a dumb design. But it makes a lot of sense. The battery slides in that way and not that way, like they do on the Panasonics and the Sonys. The great thing with that, because it's going in that way, if you've got a long tripod plate on it, underneath it, which a lot of tripods do, some of the Manfrotto plates are really long, you can put it on the tripod plate without having to think, well, I can't get the battery out. And that happens a lot with my other camcorders, that you're stuck because you can't get the battery out. With this, it's great because it's going in that way, you've got no problem. So, nice feature, JVC. Well done. What else can I tell you about it? The viewfinder. Yeah, basically it has got a viewfinder. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it at that. It's not the greatest of viewfinders, but it does get the job. It's really small. It's weird. It's like you're looking down a tunnel and it's right down the far end of the tunnel. But it gets the job done if you need to use it. The results speak for themselves, I think. You get really strong, crisp images, and they're really nice images. I'm really pleased with it, and I can't think that anybody else wouldn't be. You've just got to get over the fact that the construction of it isn't the best, but as you say, it's made to a price. So there we have it. This is the JVC GY HM170 professional, well, yeah, very much professional camcorder. All the pro features, fantastic pictures, great sound, very easy to use, and produces the most amazing pictures, I think. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching this review. If you do like my reviews, please subscribe and hit the like button. I do very much appreciate that, and look forward to seeing you on the next review. Thanks very much for watching.